guys, what's up? My name's Mallory Dragon, and in today's video we're going to be talking about how your brain can shut down your body while you sleep. So we're going to be talking about sleeping paralysis, and it's because I just experienced that this morning, and it's just crazy. I read about it before, I researched about it before because I really like learning about things that we go through with our brains, but I had never experienced a sleeping paralysis until this morning. It was a little scary, so if you want to keep watching this video and see what else and what happened to me and more about sleeping paralysis, and maybe you can send this video to any loved one that you know that maybe have struggling with that, or maybe you have gone through that and you had no idea that was called sleeping paralysis. So then keep on watching, and I hope you really like this video. So we are gonna start. I already applied moisturizer, primer, and all of that good stuff. The only thing I'm missing is my balm. So first, I'm just gonna share with you guys like my experience. It literally happened today. Basically, I was just doing a couple things on my phone. I was sending some emails. I was doing some health report things that I have to do, you know, like I have to take care of my health, and I was just doing all that. So then from the nowhere, I literally felt that someone was sitting on my chest. Like I could not move around. I stopped moving all of my fingers, my legs. I could not use my legs, could not move my head. But I was awake. I was falling asleep. I was like in the process of falling asleep, but I was still awake, you know? And it got very, very scary because I could not speak and my mouth was wide open. So I was like trying to talk, trying to like scream for help. I don't know why I was gonna scream for help if there was no one in the house, but I never had that experience of like feeling 100% drowned. Like I felt like I was being drowned and pulled like a magnetic force towards my bed. So it was very scary. And then from the nowhere, I was literally convinced that there was a man in my room. Like there was someone in my room, like there, standing, looking at me, like drown and whatever, like suffer. It was very scary because that's when I started asking for help. Because I saw someone and I was like, then help me. Like if you can't be like standing there. But at the same time, how could be someone in my room, you know, if my friends, my two friends, they left in the morning. They left like at 6 in the morning, so it just kind of made no sense. But when you're in panic, like in full-on panic, you don't really focus on that. Like you don't really care if like you can see someone there and that person can help you. You like start screaming for help, like automatically. So then I started moving. I started coming down. I was like, okay, you need to breathe. I was really scared because of my heart. I thought I was gonna get like a heart attack, or I literally saw like, I was asking myself, am I dying or am I going in a coma, or like what the hell? Because I have heard before that when people are in comas, like they can like sometimes they move their eyes and stuff, but they're really not there with you, or they're like paralyzed, or am I paralyzed? Am I gonna be able to walk again? So it was just very, very confusing, very, very scary. It was just a lot. So now that I shared with you my really scary story, there's many people that go through that, you know? And then I literally called my best friend and I told her what happened, and she told me that also happens to her. And then I told my aunt, and then she also told me that happened to her. But with her case, she was in a medication. So there's certain medications that make you experience that. And there's other people that just go through that like I did, like with no medication or not drugs or anything like that. So then I was just like, I am gonna I'm gonna research about it. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna see what's up with this. So I got some information and I have my notes right here with me. So I'm just gonna pull them out. So the sleeping paralysis is called sleeping paralysis. So that really happens in two scenarios or in two parts. So basically, or it happens when you're falling asleep, so you're still awake and you're in the process of falling asleep, or it happens when you're asleep and you're waking up from a dream. So what happens is that sometimes people do hallucinate. If you have any mental illness, you're more prone to have a stronger hallucination, or yeah, I don't know if you guys can understand me. And sometimes you also hallucinate even if you do not struggle with any mental illness. You still hallucinate when you're falling asleep and you're waking up. And that transition from asleep to waking up, sometimes you wake up but your brain is still like on your dreams. So you start seeing and projecting what your brain is processing on a dream. So, and then you get paralyzed. So why do you get paralyzed? Because you're waking up when your body's not fully woken up. Your body gets paralyzed when it's asleep. So when you wake up and you're projecting your dreams, it's like you're dreaming at the same time you're being awake. So it's like kind of a combination. So that's why you can like see something or a shadow, or if you're having a nightmare, that happens a lot with nightmares, you can see whatever nightmare it was about in your dream. Like you can see it in your room with you awake and you just can't move and ask for help. So that's another way of having a sleeping paralysis. So here, this is the most recent study about sleeping paralysis, and a review of 35 sleep paralysis studies analyzed how many people had it at least once. So 7.6% of general population had it once, and then 28.3% were students, like teenagers, like in their 20s and 15s, 20s, and then 31.9% psychiatric patients like me. So it's very weird because I had never had it. Like, yes, I have had hallucinations before, but I had never had that feeling of drowning and not being able to move and like completely paralyzed. I have never had that feeling in my life. So it was a little weird. It was a little scary because I didn't know what it was. I heard of it before. I have read it before, but at the moment, you don't really think about it. Like, you don't really process it as if, oh yeah, I am just being paralyzed, sleeping paralyzed, and this is gonna be over in a couple minutes. No, like, you don't really think that at the moment. It does become a struggle for you to snap out of that process that you're going through. When you get the sleeping paralysis, when you're falling asleep, which is the one I got today, which is the one I went through today, is called a hypnagogic sleep paralysis. And when you're waking up from a sleep and you're being paralyzed, it's called a hypnopompic sleep paralysis. So that's through the cycle. That's what I just explained to you. Your cycle when you're sleeping and your dreams keep projecting through your eyes, which that's really crazy. And that can happen to anyone like that. If you're taking some medications, some really high painkillers, they also cause that. If you have issues with anxiety, if you have issues with panic attacks, if you've been really stressed out, that can also cause it. And if you are a person that has a very disorganized sleeping schedule, that can also cause it. So if you want to check it out, I have a video down below about all of the habits that you should have for better mental health. So if you don't sleep well, you can also struggle with sleeping paralysis, and that's not something that you want to go through. That's scary. It's not fun. Don't try to induce your sleeping paralysis, because there's people that want to get into sleeping paralysis and they have more control of their brain and they can actually have a lucid dream, which they say is an amazing experience, being completely paralyzed and having lucid dreams. But seriously, I just experienced the sleeping paralysis, and even if you're having a lucid dream, what if you're having a lucid nightmare? Like, I don't want to have a lucid nightmare and then just be stuck and paralyzed. Like, that's just not fun. Okay, so I went ahead and I did my eyebrows and I did my lips. So now we're just gonna do our eyes. So basically that was my experience, and that's sleeping paralysis. Seriously, I think it's fascinating what the brain can do. It's fascinating what not only one brain but every brain can get to do. It's crazy how our brain is so important that it just shuts down our entire body. Like, that's just crazy to me, seriously. So this is where I go with what I talk about. I think that we need to take care of our brain. Like, look how powerful our brain can be to get to the point that it will shut down every single inch of our muscles, bodies, bones. It would change the way we breathe. It would increase our cardiac rhythm. It's crazy, and people just think that it's just not a big deal, and that your brain, talking about your brain is the same as being crazy. That is just so ignorant from people to just assume that the brain is with crazy and the brain is just boring, plain boring, when the brain is just exciting and incredibly filled with mysteries. Like, our brain is just, it's just some craziness, So that's it for the video. I hope you guys really liked this video. It was just a chit chat, get ready with me. Comment down below if you have ever experienced, nightmares, or share your nightmares. Like, maybe we can make some videos talking about dreams and how our brain works when we sleep, because it's just crazy how we can just panic when we sleep so much that our brain shuts down our entire body. That's just insane to me. That's just crazy to me. That's just amazing to me, because imagine, that's just less. I don't even know how much percentage we use of our brain. We clearly don't even use like a full quarter of our brain. Imagine if we use like half or our entire brain. Imagine how much power does that muscle, that simple muscle has. It can affect your entire life, even your sleep. Comment down below if you liked this video. What are your opinions on it? Hope you guys liked this video, and I'll see you guys on my next video.